Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gaming Gone Weird. This is episode number 53. I miss my dear darling and New Atlantis as I wandered the blackness of the deep abyss. My ship is in tatters, all dented and worn, but I trust my old engine to get me back by morn. I am your host. You love Nicktana, and I am blessed to be back from a crucial cold that was bringing me down, but it didn't bring down the Starfield grind. And obviously, on my right, I got my well-dressed, handsome man, best man I could have for the pod, man. He gets weird. He gets talkative. He loves talking about Pikmin and all the games, man. My good friend Ghost Stories. I call him Peter. Peter, how you doing today, man?
I am in a great mood. I feel
You're
good.
in a great mood?
I feel
Dude,
good. I feel
something
healthy.
about it like feels very electric, bro. Like, whoa!
Something about
No, too soon. Too soon. Too soon, man. I
This
just
man,
feel
a
it's
lozenge.
in the air.
Is this man a lozenge?
Yo, get this man a cough drop.
Yo, lozenge on one.
Jesus, dude, I need it, dude. That was like unnecessary.
Ricola? We're not sponsored.
If you want to,
Ricola, if you're listening, you know where to find us.
PIETER at Gaming Gone Weird.
Yeah.
That's not, we got to make it an email now.
That email's not going anywhere. Just a heads up. You will get kicked back. But I feel good, man. I feel healthy. It's finally not 180 degrees in Georgia.
Oh my god.
It's finally cooling down. It's staying below 75 in my house during the day. So that's a W.
Yeah.
Back into the swing of making content. Like, we're 2 days into it now. So we took 2 weeks off. I swear, man, if you don't do anything, if you make 0 pieces of content for 2 weeks, it is extremely difficult to get back into it. I feel like I was just like, I guess I'm just done. Like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Before we really talk about everything and all gaming that you guys love to hear on Gaming Gone Weird, it's a tip to any content creator. If you like to talk about games, if you like to just play games, if you like to just stream to your friends or anything in life, good advice I heard, and I kind of take it to my own piece. Like, even if you don't feel like doing anything, it's called the, like, I forgot exactly what the method's called, but it's like do something every day method, which I know sounds crazy, but at least if you tackle one thing, put down one thing to add that you're going to add to your video, like one like outline or one just little piece, like a sentence. And then you said you worked on that for that part of your content. So I always thought that was a very good idea for anybody that does want to create content. So yeah, take that in mind. But Pete, dude, I was watching a lot of Mortal Kombat today. And one thing I do want to touch on before we get into the question of the day, dude, like, I think I generally just enjoy watching fighting games. Like, fighting games is something to me where I could just sit down on the couch and just not know what is going on whatsoever. But I just like seeing combos. It's like a work of art to me. Do you ever have like a video game that feels that way to you?
Pikmin, mostly. Assassin's Creed, probably.
Pikmin is just a work of art. The way you bring out the red Pikmin, the blue Pikmin.
Yeah.
The red and blue Pikmin make purple Pikmin. Do you not know colors at this point?
It's really just the best game for coloring. But as far as I think what I'm understanding from what you're saying is a work of art, and like from a skill standpoint, I always liked watching Valorant a lot for that reason.
Right.
Like at the pro level, I always thought that was like super fascinating to watch just because it was so difficult. And I think that was, I don't know, it's just like so big brain. I think that combat games, I mean, you have to memorize like a crazy, first of all, you have to memorize combos for each character. Then you have to memorize all the combos for each character as they pertain to the character that you're playing. So, like, I need to know all the moves that character can do, and then I need to know all the correct moves that I can use as this character against that character, and then I need to know all the moves that the enemy character has as an advantage against me. And that is, like, I just smash button. Like, I'm not – that would take – that's a full-time job. Like, if you just look up Mortal Kombat and you scroll to all the live TikToks or the YouTube channels – it's just one dude in a training room. He's got it's a plug-in controller, but it's a joystick in the 6 buttons.
I know what you're talking about. It's the big box.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Amazon package box, but it has the big Joy-Con It has like 5 red buttons on top, 5 red buttons on the bottom, and he's just there, like rag on his lap, and he's sitting there.
Yes,
to
yes,
wipe up all the
yes,
sweat.
dude.
Yeah.
All of them have
Like,
the towels
legit
on.
is-
It's dude. I was like,
Mhm.
what is that towel for? And then it's just them like running combos, and if they mess up once, they hit the reset button. I feel like it's like speedrunners, but they hit the reset button,
Mhm.
and then it's them just like working on the same combo. They mess up, they reset it, and like they just keep doing it over and over and over and
It's-
over. And I'm like,
Because you have
it's
to
too
hit-
much.
You have to hit. I was watching so many people play the game, and it's like if you do not hit your combos and you cannot get them in the air to like keep on getting consistent free hits, then you're just kind of like not in a good wave. This is the Nintendo Switch footage, by the way. Do not judge this game of what we're talking about with this footage. I just wanted to show you this now before we
The stream's not lagging. This is
Yeah.
the actual pixel
This
count
is-
on the game.
we're gonna get into talking about the Switch version here in a second, man. But yeah, that's basically what I was doing, man. I played a lot of the I watched a lot of Mortal Kombat streams. I was watching them on Twitch. Very interesting just to watch. I just love it. It feels like an art to me, just because you have to remember combos, and then also you got to kind of be predictable of what the other opponent is doing, and just like. I've had this love with Madden the same way, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand. They're like, why do you play Madden? Madden's the same thing over and over again. The thing is with Madden, it's mano y mano. It's me against you. I have to predict what you're doing. I have to expose what you're doing. I have to like recognize that and make that happen on my side, because I gotta expose what you're trying to expose me for. It's like a game of chess. And then if I could do that as a man, it's like the best feeling in the world. You beat someone in a fighting game, if you do not get pumped up, bro, you're not a human being.
Right.
I don't care if you're at the family cookout, if you beat somebody in Mortal Kombat, bro, if you're not up banging your chest, you're not a human being.
Right.
It's just facts.
Where does Super Smash land for you in the hierarchy of fighting games? Like, is it
I love
for what you
Smash.
know? Is it like respected by people who don't play Smash or play the other fighting games, or is it considered like one of the, you know, like more popular or better? I'm sure there's a hierarchy. People are like, well, if you play that fighting game, you're bad at fighting games.
I
or
love
whatever.
Smash. I just feel like it kind of died off within the past few years. I feel like a lot of
Okay.
people are onto like right now the Street Fighters. Mortal Kombat is hot right now. You have Tekken. Tekken's gaining a lot of fight. Make sure if you guys want to hear us talk about all those fighting games, you guys got to check out one of the older podcasts, because we highlighted all 3 of those games and what they're great for and like the hypeness that they have, because they're all coming out this year. And they all have their own desired fan bases and what they're known for. But also in the fighting community, there is going to be a game that Riot is making that's a fighting game that actually people are really, really...
Riot?
Yep.
They're making a fighting game?
Yeah. And they're making it more simple for people that like, you know, us, the leg sweep in the corners, the cookout champions, like games like that for
Cookout
us.
champions.
The CCs, baby, the cookout champs.
Yeah.
First
Yeah,
person
once
to
punch,
photo-
once kick. Yeah.
First person to Photoshop me and Peter on some dad bods with Tekken in the background gets brownie points from game.
You don't have to
with
Photoshop. You can just
Cookout-
rock with the actual photos. There's
Cookout champions, like the Cookout Champions trophy.
just a little like CRTV in the corner. You're like flipping a burger.
Oh man,
That should be the next thumbnail. I'm done.
I do want to say thank you guys all for being here. Like I said, this is episode number 53 of Gaming Gone Weird, the gaming podcast where we talk about everything and all gaming news, and we like to share our weird and like obscure gaming taste. If you guys like this type of podcast, or you guys want to hear us more frequently, don't forget to subscribe to Know Your News, where we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. This show has been nothing but great. We've been doing very well. We're very consistent. We haven't missed a pod in 53 weeks. So if you like hearing your guys' gaming news, like
That's sick.
that is sick. You know what I'm saying? That's a big like accomplishment. No breaks, no nothing. We just been kept on pushing it out. I'm gonna have my handsome looking co-host over here kick you guys off with the question of the day, because we haven't had a Peter question of the day in a very long time, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this man the floor and go from there. So go ahead and kick it off for us, Pete.
Question of the day for you. I'm gonna focus this on you specifically. I'm gonna add in, just because of what's been in the news with Bethesda and Microsoft, is what does Bethesda need to do to make Starfield last? How do they retain players the best that they can? Is this something that they can carry into maybe Elder Scrolls 6. Does it last that long? Are they going to have to do a bunch of like remakes, re-releases, remastered of previous games to carry them there? Like how long can Starfield last, depending on what Bethesda do, or what do they need to do actually?
That's a great question. Let us know what you guys think down below. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off for my first takes, to be honest, because we kind of seen the same thing with Cyberpunk, and I don't want to exclusively say this with Cyberpunk, and I don't want to put them side by side because these are two completely different games. Yeah. I think one started off better than the other. I think you can kind of put your judgment on which one you think started off way better than the other one. I think that they both are the same genre of games. So obviously they're both the RPG games, and they're both very popular in their own demands. So the way I see it, though, is like Cyberpunk started off really hot. Once you beat everything and you do everything in that game, it kind of just like, you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know, like, you have nothing to do. Like, once you kind of reach a max level, you kind of reach all the items you found, and you did everything you want to do, you can only do so much in a game. So, like, you could keep on creating characters if that's what you want to. So you could do that, or you could just stop playing. But I think, in general, the Cyberpunk is coming back for a good reason, and that's because they're releasing DLC. So I think DLC will be a big factor in that. You release a DLC, it gives people an incentive to get back on the game. Maybe you add in a new skill tree. Maybe you add in more planets, or you add in a new faction. The new faction adds new missions, new characters, new companions, maybe a new type of feature in the game to where, like, you make mining a lot easier, or that you can do something with spaceships. Like, you just have to add more to it. It's kind of hard because those type of games kind of allow you to do whatever you really want, and in their own worlds they are very in depth. But the thing is like, we already gonna know. There's already gonna be some crazy tweet like Xbox lover 97654 dad for life is gonna tweet out. Yeah. He's going to tweet out something like, Starfield numbers are down. Oh, I'm sorry. That'd be like PlayStation lover. He would tweet like, Starfield numbers have dropped 95% because everybody's did everything they wanted to do. Like, I've gotten all the credits and stuff. What do you think that they could do to kind of keep that going?
Well, it's just crazy because in their history, like, people still play Skyrim regularly. People still mod that game like crazy. So it's just, do they open their game up to more community like changes or mods or whatever? I don't know how deep, let's say Skyrim, for example, goes, like how much extra content they release for that. Luckily with space, you can kind of just keep making planets. Like, you can just keep making new planets. Like, there's no limit. I don't know what the lore of Starfield is, so I don't know if that's gonna mess with stuff or if they just add new factions, but I feel like Bethesda does a good job at extending the life of, but also their games have always been so good, so it kind of just like sells itself, I guess.
Me personally, I feel like this is on par with Skyrim. And a lot of people might call me out for that, but I think Starfield is like right there, like neck and neck. I think people really do love Skyrim, but I think like Starfield adds that next lore. It has the pretty fun bugs. It does have some really crappy bugs that we could all talk about, but I think it has that next generational Skyrim feels where like people really love the Skyrim, the memorable NPCs, the moments of you going out and doing a certain mission. Oh, I remember going to this part of this town and finding this little side quest and having a dialogue option where I had to go back and forth with this person, or maybe I persuaded this person to have this event happen to me. And I generally am just so happy that Starfield was just actually a success for Bethesda, and it didn't actually just like poop the bed, because the amount of time that was spent on this game and the vision for it was very seeable, and I think they knocked it out of the park for sure. So I think we will be talking about something that got leaked that will kind of hopefully bring that back to life. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited that it didn't drop below what your expectations were, because you were pretty excited about it before it came out, and then it didn't seem to let people down, which is nice. People got arrested over it, selling bootleg copies. It's so popular. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like Bethesda. I feel like that's a trusted company. I'm sure people are like, no, whatever the haters say, but you got to look at the lifeline of the company, that they seem to make well above average products most of the time, and then you got to go with the majority. So that's cool, man. I hope so, because I'll be playing it eventually. So
you know what I wasn't disappointed about? The new Among Us map, guys. Breaking news here on Gaming Gone Weird. New Among Us map has been announced, and it is called Fungal. You are outside of the ship. It has crashed, and you have to find the imposter that is on the jungle, or Fungal as they call it.
The Fungal.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Fungal.
Can we talk about the why there was an actual marshmallow in the shape of an Among Us guy?
Can you look at the execution where they put a guy on a marshmallow and roast him over the
That's
fire?
so insane. I think it was a matter of time. Will you be playing the new Fungal DLC map?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you a list of people I won't be playing Among Us with. Okay. He's co-hosted the show with you before.
Oh, Coco?
And I will not be playing in that group, because he's got some hardcore Among Us people. Sweats. Legitimate sweats in Among Us.
Hey, at Gaming Gone Weird, we do not condone sweating Among Us.
Not for a game like Among Us, man.
We do
if
not.
You're like,
save it for your for different lobbies, all right? We're not saving them for Among Us lobbies, all right?
I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget that moment.
One
of my bottom 5 moments in gaming of all time.
Save it for the combat cookouts, okay?
Yeah.
the Mortal Kombat cookouts. That's what we're saving.
Combat cookouts, both with a K. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, before I get,
I'm excited though. I'm excited they have the game going still.
Yeah, I mean, no, really cool I think that they needed a map outside anyways, and I always liked maps that kind of have that like outside feel to it. So,
I agree.
Before we get into our first topic of the day, I do also want to highlight some of the games that are coming out this week or that already came out. Lies of P came out yesterday, September 19th. It came out for PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and current gen consoles. It is on the Game Pass, so if you guys want to pick it up for Game Pass, it is free to play. Like we said earlier, Mortal Kombat has came out. It came out yesterday for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. A game called You Suck at Parking. That's a game I play in real life too. Sorry to break it to you. Party Animals came out today, and I did play Party Animals, guys. So if you do like games like Gang Beasts, you definitely want to play Party Animals. This is an Xbox exclusive game right now, so if you want to play it, it is on Game Pass, and it's for the Xbox Series X and S, and for the current gen Xbox. Days of Doom comes out tomorrow. Payday 3, a game that is going to be very underlooked, but a great game for $40, and on the Game Pass that is coming out for the PS5, and like I said, the Game Pass, but like, you can't beat it when it's on the Game Pass. So if you want to rob banks and do heist and put on a clown mask, look like Michael Thomas, go ahead, pick that up tomorrow. And then Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC comes out September 21st.
Subtle.
Just throwing a little Michael Thomas in there, just for
he's not even in the room, man.
You don't gotta be. You don't gotta be. So Pete, you want to go ahead and kick us off with the first topic of today?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Mortal Kombat on the Switch or the Unity protest? Sorry, I lost my place.
Flip a coin, brother.
Let's just talk about Mortal Kombat super quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Into Unity. Mortal Kombat 1 sucks on the Switch. That is pretty much... Okay. Mortal Kombat 1 has had a less than successful port over to the Nintendo Switch. Now, the footage from the current gen consoles. It looks amazing on the ones that it was meant for. It looks like something straight out of a horror show. It looks like if we went to game design school and we were told our first assignment is to design some characters. My biggest pet peeve is the eyes. I don't know if you got to look at all the eyes, but there's no detail. They're wide.
She's got a million teeth.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Got a million teeth.
They have received a less than stellar scores across pretty much across the world. I'll say the world at this point for the port. I don't think a game like Mortal Kombat 1 needs to be on the Switch. I could see. My thought would have been they would have made a second Mortal Kombat specifically for the Switch. So like, I wouldn't even know what to call it. Like something, like Assassin's Creed has a mobile version, right?
Uh-huh.
It's made specifically for mobile. Why wouldn't you make a game like Mortal Kombat? Why it's not gonna, it clearly doesn't translate well. So
right.
Why couldn't they make a more cartoony version of it? But maybe that goes against what they do, which is like hyper realistic gore and
yeah. So this is where I'm at with it, and I've had talks with a few other people, a few friends of mine. I also talked to Rob, our good friend Rob, and the way that we kind of saw it too is our questions are like kind of the same thing. So where does this game kind of reach out to the Nintendo Switch audience, right? When you think of like the Nintendo Switch, you think of like the kind of cartoonier, like I don't like saying cartoony, but they are cartoonier. You got like Pokemon. You have Zelda, you have Mario. That's more a little bit more animated, cartoony. And I'm not saying like
more arcadey.
Yeah, arcadey. That's a great word to say. I would say arcadey. But then when you have a game like Mortal Kombat, it's a lot more in-depth, in detail, a lot more gore. You have skulls that are being shown, actual like membranes and brains and like some sort of anatomies and shit like that. Like guts, like, so it shows off a lot of the detail that Switch can't even push out.
Right.
I kind of see the general idea where they wanted to go with it. It's like with every Nintendo Switch game that they put out, what do they want the Switch? They want you to play it not at your house. They want you to be able to game on the go. They're hoping that this reaches a Mortal Kombat player that's like, okay, I did my practice at home. I can go ahead, undock my Switch, play it when I'm at work or play it whatever. And that's fine. My other problem with this though is like we need to quit taxing these games for $70 if I'm looking at teeth and eyeballs that look like this. It's just not, it
looks like
fair.
The PlayStation 2
dude,
graphics.
This is PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 graphics at best. Yeah. And in the game is like, guys, when I tell you I was watching this game, when I was watching it on streams, it's a beautiful game. It really is so nice. Great, so smooth. The combos are great. The attacks are, it's an awesome game. And it's going to be such a highlight for the fighting community. But then, like, you bring out this Switch port, and it's like, we just didn't need it.
Exactly.
I look at stuff like this, and it also really bugs me because the way I see it, too, is like you're kind of downgrading yourself because you have to be able to produce a game that's going to be really nice but also can run on some of those older consoles. Like, I'm not saying the Nintendo Switch is older, but we ran into this problem, and I've had this debate with people when Hogwarts came out and people didn't really like it. My reasoning for, like, I said Hogwarts shouldn't come out on older gens, current gen, and people wanted to sharpen up their pitchforks, and I was like, I get it, man. Like, we want everybody to game, but it's like you're holding back these studios from really producing the game they want to make so they can run it on older consoles when it's not going to run good at all. Right. So the Switch can only handle so much at a time. So it only runs Tears of the Kingdom at 30 frames per second. The game is beautiful, but like if it could only run that game at 30 frames per second, what do you think it's going to run Mortal Kombat? And when we're talking about a game that literally you need frames and you need to hit your like invisible frames or whatever, like it's important. It's like the most important thing. Combos happening, like it's a timing thing. And if you don't get your timing, and this isn't the lag on the stream, this is the actual lag from the video, and I made sure that it wasn't on my computer. When you have a lag like that, and it doesn't run like it looks okay, but you can kind of see where the frames drop a tad bit during the combat. And we haven't gotten any scores. We haven't gotten any scores from the Switch yet. But the game for Mortal Kombat 1, for the initial game, it got an 86. So it got an even higher score than Starfield. But like
got
Pete,
really low scores for the Switch.
But here's my question to you though, and this is my question to the chat. This is my question to Pete. When do we take a step back and we say like, let's stop trying to do this with the Switch? Because we like the idea of being able to put it on the go, but like think of all the bad ports. I can think of like maybe 3 off the top of my head that were really bad. I could think of like MLB didn't look the best.
Apex,
Overwatch,
so stupid.
Mortal Kombat. So we have a few games on the top of our head. Red Dead Redemption was another one. At least some of the games I said, they weren't $60, $70. We're talking about a Red Dead Redemption 1 that was a $50 that they put on a port for the Switch, and it looked absolutely horrendous, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think people who have a Switch expect games like Mortal Kombat to be available to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get a Switch thinking like, oh, I can't wait to sit down in my bed and play Skyrim or Starfield on my Switch in bed. Like I'm not expecting games of that caliber or that size to be available to me. When I got the Switch, I was like, all right, we got Pikmin. We've got like retro Mario games. We've got like Super Mario RPG coming up. We've got like old school F-Zero. Like that's what I'm expecting from that. And I think if you get a Switch going, hey, I'm going to spend $350 on a Switch and I better have access to Mortal Kombat, you might as well get a place that, like, you might as well save up an extra $100 to get the current, like, it doesn't make any sense. It's I don't know. But like, this is one of those things where I'm a developer, I'm a publisher, I'm a studio, I'm testing the game on a Switch. Am I I know the problems, but I'm still putting it out?
Yeah.
It's not like that wasn't that way in development.
No.
So
and now
I don't know.
And now they're coming out and they're getting a lot of questions about this, and the development team is like, our first step is to focus on the Switch version. It's like, dude, like, I get it, you want the Switch version to be good so bad, but like, dude, we don't need it. We don't need it.
No one's asking.
Nobody's asking. You just want it to because it's getting so much backlash.
It's so bad.
It's not. That's not Mortal Kombat's problem though.
Right.
Who do we point the finger at?
Well, Mortal Kombat grants them the rights. Like they invest money to be able to, because it's.
Do we just give them like an A for trying and like a gold star? Like, I get it. Like, I just don't.
I think the developers have to decide and go, hey, this plays like garbage, so we're just not going to release it, because now I've purchased the Switch version. I've given you my money, and you knowingly gave me a crappy product. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's not the Nintendo's fault. Their specs are there.
I think it just kind of goes back, just like, watch what you spend your money on too. Like, I get like money isn't like infinite for everybody. Obviously, some people are blessed with better opportunities than other people. But like, when it comes to like thinking about getting a Mortal Kombat, I would probably just, instead of spending the $60 on the Switch version, save up until you could maybe get it on sale when you have the time to get a PlayStation or an Xbox or for your PC or anything else, because just buying it for the Switch or buying a lot of these ports that are some of these games are coming out for the Switch has just not been good at all. It's not working. It's flat out.
Maybe you just don't get it. Like, if that's all you have and that game comes out and you go, well, I should be able to play it, I'm like, you just don't get it. Like, you just can't play this one, and that's fine.
It comes to that point too where it's like, maybe like, okay, I know the only game I want to play this year is Mortal Kombat. The people that are saying that might be very slim, or it might be bigger than I expected to. But even if you are saying that, then like the Switch wouldn't be your number one purchase. It's all about
you made the wrong purchase.
Yeah. But I really would love to see a game like this really do pan out, because that, in my head, for the competitive nature that I feel like I have when it comes to a lot of these games, I want to be able to play this game on the go. I want practice time when I'm gone. It should be cross-play. It should be grind time. Okay, I got my Mortal Kombat. I already ranked up to silver because I know I'm not getting out of gold. I rank up to silver. We're going ahead and we're playing. And then it's like, okay, I got to go ahead and I got to go to work. Or I know I'm at a day at an office. I'm on my lunch break. I'm going to practice my combos. I'm going to practice everything. I should have something liable that I should be able to do that. And that's what a lot of these companies and these studios are really starting to figure out too. PlayStation's coming out with the Project Q. Xbox is trying to figure out their way to come out with their handheld console or some way that they could do their cloud gaming. I mean, you could already do it on your phone. The Switch isn't just holding up in its frames or its hardware at all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like we either got to hope that this Switch 2 comes out and it maybe helps that a lot, or we're just kind of in trouble for like future ports in general.
Especially the Switch. I mean, Nintendo probably allows it because they make a bunch of money off of it. I'm sure. Like, does it cost Nintendo to allow companies to make games?
What do they have to do? They don't have to do nothing on their end.
I don't know.
Just find a way to push out a cartridge, maybe. That's way more above my pay grade, but they don't really have to do anything.
It's got to be cheaper, right? Just to make plastic.
Like I guess, like and a lot of people might fall for that trap though too, which kind of stinks because I think the game might be $70 on the PS5, but for the Switch it's 60. But like, would you pay $70 for the picture on the left or 60 for the one on the right? Chat, which one looks better, left or right? You get one chance.
The eyes that kill me, man. It's always just like,
dude, she got hit with a mean uppercut. Oh my gosh, man.
The game's just not meant for that. Like, it's just not meant for that hardware. So why even try?
That is true.
It's just a money grab, and then the people it's just a scam. Like, you're getting scammed. It just sucks. So I don't know, man. Anyway, so I didn't mean to go so deep into that. It's just every time companies release games knowing that it's not that great and they want to charge you full price for it, I don't know. Grinds my gears, man.
You don't ever have to apologize for talking about video games on a video game podcast ever.
It just grinds my gears. That's all.
Anything if it grinds your gears, bro, talk it out.
Stop it. Stop making these stupid.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. We see you.
Figure it out.
We see you.
Figure it out.
Yeah. But that's all I had on that one.
Oof. Deep breaths, bro. You good? You need a drink of water after that one, dude?
It's just scummy, you know.
You were on a tear. I like it.
It's just scummy behavior.
I'm gonna give you a break, and I'm gonna go ahead and kick into a topic that I want to talk about, and then you could go back into the Unity. Yeah. So guys, getting into the next topic, something that we were kind of hinting at earlier with the Starfield, what they got to do to kind of keep a leg up and kind of get people to keep playing their game and to kind of stay interested with it. Well, if you haven't heard, good old Phil Spencer had his emails leaked back for the FTC meetings, and they kind of had a roadmap of what Bethesda wants to do for the next upcoming years. And this highlights a lot of amazing and a lot of games that just like kind of had me at awe, and like maybe I thought weren't getting any DLC or they weren't going to get anything planned at all. But they have a lot of stuff planned, and a lot of this stuff that actually did came out. Stuff that I see right off the bat. They want to do an Oblivion remaster that would slap. They already have the Starfield DLC in advance that they want to get out and plan. Another Elder Scrolls expansion, more Doom. We don't know what these Project Platinum or Kestrels are. Another Doom game, more Elder Scrolls Online, Elder Scrolls 6, a licensed IP game that has not been said. Fallout 3 Remastered, which I was very shocked for, and also Dishonored 3 and Ghostwire Tokyo sequel I did not see coming, but I am definitely excited for both of them. My problem is, Pete, is like, can we trust the deadlines on these games? And no. Just
in fact, they're probably not even so the list is from an older time, and none of these, like, the roadmap's going to change. Actually posted a short about this, and I just like put it up and said, like, "Whoa, look at this lineup of titles." And most of the comments are, "Oh, this is just fake," and you're like a scammy creator, which is always like really cool and fun to hear.
Okay, nice, dude.
Yeah, I say cool. I was like, "Oh, then who made it?" And also Phil had to tweet about it. So I was like, and everyone's like, "Well, the timelines are way off." I'm like, timelines are off on everything, always, for any major project. Right. Look at the titles. Like, tell me the titles aren't real.
Going back into like looking at everything, we got to think of like FY20. I'm guessing that what is that? What does that mean? So does that mean
fiscal
like
year
2020? So does that mean like 2020? Does that mean like because that could be like we got hit with a disease, or we got hit with a outbreak of something, and that slowed down everything for about 2 years. So we look at our timeline now, we're about at like 2023. Elder Scrolls, I mean, that's already 6 years out of. So yeah, we got a very long time, and I think that I'm fine with that. Obviously, I'm not very nervous about the time, but I think the thing that stinks about this is if Phil Spencer can't follow up on this, he might be cooked.
Why?
He might be cooked because, like, there's been a lot of times where, like, he feels like he just, like, he has, like, really high expectations, but, like, he just hasn't been able to follow up on a lot of that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
A lot of excitement, a lot of hype, a lot of energy. Like, think of a lot of Xbox showcases that we had where we sat back and watched, and we were like, I can't wait for that game to come out this year. Oh, yeah, we got another Redfall. Oh, it's pushed back. Hey, it's
another
cool. We'll wait. We got it. We'll push back. Hey, we'll wait. It's going to be a good game. Phil, hey, we got high expectations for Redfall. Redfall comes out. He's like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Phil Spencer always gets like bullied the worst out of everybody, though. Like,
it's because he's the face. That's what happens.
He's just the guy.
He's the head content creator.
When you're the man. When you're the man.
Yeah. When you're at the top, it's easy to throw rocks. I'm excited for the Indiana Jones title, though. I hope that's real. I'll definitely play that game.
That's real. It's real, but you're like the only one that's excited for that.
Listen, if Harrison Ford's on the front of the box, I'm down.
Oh man, I gotta run away from this boulder. Spam X to run faster. Yeah, nobody's playing that.
Listen, bro. You went deep on Redfall when it came out. Okay, don't talk to me about.
Still am. Still one of the 17 people playing.
That's wild to me. That should shock everyone.
Still got the game downloaded. Don't ever disrespect.
I don't even know what you're saying to me right now. It's not even English. But
you activated the booby trap. Spam A to avoid the booby traps. Indiana Jones.
Just because you don't like good movies, that's fine.
Indiana Jones DLC. Steal the other statue in the other pyramid. Oh jeez!
It's called Legends of the Temple.
Is it on Game Pass?
I hope not. I hope it's full price. It deserves it.
I could just
anyway, dude. The hate's pretty crazy. I'm excited for the Indiana Jones game. I think most people should be. It's gonna be It's gonna be really sick. Dude.
Out of everything that was listed here, we have Oblivion Remaster, Fallout 3 Remaster, Dishonored 3.
I'm gonna say this too.
Indiana Jones game.
I'm gonna say this. Things I don't care about. Remastered games.
That's hot.
I don't care about remastered games.
That's hot. Just talk it, Pete.
I don't care about remastered movies. I don't care about remastered games. You had a plan. You executed it. You released it. I already paid for it. Now you want me to pay for it again?
But the
for what? For what? My eyes didn't get better. They're getting worse, actually, with age. I still can't see the subtitle. No, I don't believe you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have other people that are excited about the Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
Absolutely sorry.
Exactly. The potential there.
Oh, you'll get your Indiana Jones game, all right, but it's going to be Crystal Skulls. Nobody's playing Indiana Jones.
Okay, look. The Crystal Skull slander is like saying I'm gonna get you the game, but it's gonna be for the Switch. That's what Tim already said. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy you the Indiana Jones game, but it will be for the Nintendo Switch. You will not be playing it on Game Pass.
Remastered games are a scam. You heard it here first. Have you bought remastered games? Resident Evil.
I bought that. It was way better. No, it was okay. So here's where I'm at with remaster games. I think that they have a purpose, but I also think that like
To make money.
you're not allowed to put them. Shut up. They're not allowed to be in the same discussion as like a like they like to line that up sometimes with like game of the year discussion. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, Resident Evil 4, like it could be up for game of the year, and I'm like, if a remake ever wins game of the year, we just need to stop. And I think remakes are just kind of bad for the, like, I want to say bad for, I'll say bad for the industry. I think it's bad because it lacks in creativity. It lacks people to create new shit. It like just kind of makes people just want to just like do the same thing over and over
money
again.
grab. And it's supposed to
recycle
carry you
everything.
from project to project. It's supposed to buy time for the developers and studios to get you
Right.
from one new release to the next. So
Yeah.
you remaster some stuff in the middle. You like float that money boat from from over here to over here where you're trying to go, and then people are like, oh, it's so much better. I'm like, it's the same game, dude. It's the same game.
See,
It's the same game.
it's hard for me to say that though too, because the amount of times that I bought in, because Pokemon, the way that they do it is they'll do main series game, remake, main series game. So they'll do like Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then they'll do like Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I know it's not. I know I'm messing up timeline orders, but like that's what I'm just saying. The point. It's like they will do that type of like they'll do like new game, remake, new game, remake, and like you said, it's to kind of hold people over time. You got this game. We're working on the new one. Just go ahead. This will hold you over. Be good to go.
Now, I don't mind remastered games if the gap between the first game and the remasters, like, let me get everything into the camera here. So, like, if they remade F-Zero 99 25 years later and just, like, update it. Okay, so, yeah, if they remade this and updated graphics and everything, and this might be the remade version, I can't even tell.
This game is so sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
This game is so
one
sweet,
of the best.
bro.
One of the best. One of the best.
I don't even. Are you trying to say this game's gonna be booty? Because this game's so sweet.
No, I'm saying this game's gonna be great. But what I'm saying is, like, if you remaster a game like this, that's chill. But if like you're remastering, I don't like if the time frame between the two is too short. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. Like, just play the game over again. You know what I mean? Just
It's
replay
kinda,
it.
So how hard is it to find an older game like that as well? Think about that.
What do you mean, like an old remastered game?
No, just like how hard would it be to play that old game? It's very hard.
What?
F99. If you can't find it.
Oh.
If it's for like the Nintendo 64 and it costs like $1 million.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. It's perfect. Exactly.
So they make
This
a
is a great
remake so
example.
everybody could play it.
I love that. But like,
All right,
I
so
don't need a
shut
remake.
your mouth.
I don't need Red Dead Redemption remaster. I don't need it. Nobody
Hey,
needs
you do
it.
for the Switch to play it on the go. This is what we talked about.
God,
We're going in
dude.
circles.
I'm gonna throw it out the window. You should never buy a game like that.
Is
for
your Switch charging?
Always. It stays charged. I've been playing Pikmin for 18 days straight.
Really? Pikmin
No.
4? Okay.
God.
Oh, deep breaths. Deep breaths. Let's go ahead. I want you to cover Unity. Deep breaths. Ready?
Let's
On
talk
the
about
count of-
another
on the-
scummy thing.
on the
Let's get
count of
into
On the
it.
count of 3, we're going to exhale. Ready? 1. Okay, we're going to inhale and then exhale. On the count of 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. Unity. Let's go.
500 developers are protesting Unity by demonetizing their games, Nick. Demonetizing their own products.
That's insane.
And if you guys don't remember what we talked about last week, Unity is an engine that games are built on, and they launched what they called a runtime fee, I believe is the term, where you would launch your game, and if your game hit a certain amount of installs, and there was one other thing, it was installs and like number of purchases maybe, then they actually start charging the developer like a fee on top of that. So every time the game's installed after X number, it's like up to 20 cents per install that they now charge you. And so there was this letter written that over 500 developers who've built games on top of or on the Unity engine, and this basically said, like, if you do this, we're going to demonetize your games, our own games, and you're going to make nothing off of them. So I don't know if that's happened yet. I don't know if that's more of like a letter of intent, kind of like a threat. But I kind of like it, man, because I think it's a super scummy thing that they're doing. They try to make extra money and they're getting punished for doing well. So
I like the fight. I just like the fight, man. Like, this is well deserved. A lot of these companies, they're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. They're putting out the grind just like everybody is in this world. And I think big corporations are trying to take advantage of people that are working like very hard and just trying to make a quick buck. And I don't think it's fair. And I definitely enjoy the fight back, to say the least. It's been. I think this is cool. I think it also gives a chance where if demonetized, they wouldn't make the game for people actually free. They would just say, like, we're not making any money off of this, or like how would that work?
I think I don't know if that means that they're, from the article that I read, I don't know if that means that they're going to make their games free to play, or maybe they just don't charge, like maybe they just don't or like they elect to not make any money off of the sales. So if you have 200 install, like whatever their intended workaround is, it's some way to combat the Unity situation from like charging them the money on the back end. But they have to make a certain amount of money on the front end for this tax to kick in. So if the game's free to play and everyone's installing, so let's say, I think the number is 200,000. Let's say they have 500,000 installs, but they've made $0 on the game. Then that only hits one of the criteria that Unity had. So that, by their own rules or this implementation, they can't be charged after the fact. So everyone will still get to play. They're just, but like the devs aren't making money on it. So, or maybe it's just like anyone who had an in-game store of any kind, maybe they just turn that off. It's just going to be them trying to get out of one of those criteria that falls under that Unity tax. I'm gonna call it a taxation clause.
Fight the fight, though, man. Like, I think these games deserve it, bro. I think they deserve every penny that they put in.
Sure.
They put in a lot of time with these games, and I think the install thing is very stupid. I think it's just a quick little gimmick here.
It's weird.
And I don't even understand. That's just like laws and stuff way above my pay grade, to where like I don't even know how you can make rules like that. But we just wanted to give you guys the positive news that games are actually participating in the fight back to like stop this type of behavior, because it's bad for gaming, it's bad for consumers, it's just kind of bad for everybody.
Yeah,
we don't like it.
No, it's weird. And when you see that many people like push back against it, and especially bigger studios like Devolver say, hey, we're out too.
The
like,
big one.
That's a big deal. So
I still want to play that Gunbrella game. Gunbrella.
But that'll have more news to come. That's going to be an ongoing thing. Like,
we're gonna make sure we keep you guys updated with it for sure, because it's something we're generally passionate about. Getting into something that I kind of want to get your guys' takes on is review copies are finally coming out for Spider-Man 2. It actually just got announced today that for Spider-Man 2, it has went gold, and there is going to be no delays, no pushback, nothing like that. So the game will be coming out on time, and I'm pretty sure that is October 20th. So we're about 30 days away from a PlayStation 5 exclusive banger. What are your expectations for this game, Pete? I got a few things, like a few notes here that I wanted to highlight too. Reviewers have been stating that you could actually switch between playing as Miles and Peter in the game, which I think is kind of cool. They also talked about having 30, 40, and 60 FPS modes in the game with ray tracing, so a little bit of a nice graphical boost to it. Tell me what you think about everything, man. And
is it going to be on Switch?
It is not going to be on the Switch, bro. I'm
sorry.
Good
move.
Sorry to inform you with that.
Smart, very smart.
What do you think?
I like the idea that they can switch between the two characters, because I think there's like real camps of like Spider-Man fans that sit, one for Miles Morales, one for the Peter Parker saga. So I think that's a really good move. I did see the fighting. Is the Venom? All the Venom clips from this game as well, or is that an independent game, or is this all part of it?
Venom's in this game.
Okay, so I think it is the one that I saw where it's like all the tentacles were shooting out at the same time, and like that combat looked super nice. I was watching that, but there were some extended ones, not just like the initial release, but there were some extended ones showing what this. I can't remember what it's called, some kind of suit, showing what the suit can do. That combat looks super, super sick. Another part of this game, at least the series that I really like, we've talked about this before, is just like when players will just swing through the city. And like they just do that for 2 hours, and you can just get lost in that because it looks
playing their gym playlist, and it's just like
dude, it looks so good. It's like
it really does.
It's hypnotic watching it. 60 FPS, what a concept! Coming out on release, that's insane. Like it's crazy. We're going backwards. I love that that's like a feature now to have 60 frames. Very, very cool. But other than that, man, I've never. From like being a kid, I have not played any of the new Spider-Man games, but they always do well. Like I've never seen negative comments. They always like perform very well, have super high ratings, because it's PlayStation exclusive.
Yes.
Yeah,
it'll probably be on PC down the road. One of the things I can say is obviously I've been a fan of PlayStation. It's not like a random thing, or it's not like it's just like, oh, today became a. No, I've never been shy about like straying away. Like I always give PlayStation their flowers. I think their console just generally just puts out very good games. I think they can produce better games. Like their titles are very very good, and I think their console is just so much. They're able to produce games like this and be able to run them on their system with graphics like that, and to like make it just look like a piece of art, man. Like this is just like
it looks like what it's supposed to look like what the system's meant for.
Awesome. Like it looks very great graphically, and to have certain options out there for everybody. We're talking about the 60 FPS, the ray tracing, for whatever you want to play on. Personally, I like to play on performance mode, and it looks just as good on performance mode and runs way better than it does on quality mode. And a game like this is just like, it looks awesome, and I'm hoping you could just be able to explore New York City.
Oh, for sure, you're gonna be able to,
and see just everything in the game, and just admire like things like Easter eggs that were in the movies and that you've seen in other Spider-Mans. And I think it's kind of a cool concept to be able to see the other Spider-Man while you're just kind of swinging through the city. You might see him on the left-hand side, just kind of swinging with you, or just, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, oh, I got to go ahead and stop this robbery, and if I do, the other Spider-Man might come and help. It's definitely a game that I'm going to pick up day one. I definitely want to play it. I love the other Spider-Man game and the Miles Morales game. They're both really good, and PlayStation just puts out great stuff. So,
is this the best superhero game or set of games?
Spider-Man?
It's got to be up there.
Greatest superhero game of all time.
Well, just like
Psychonauts.
I was gonna say Pikmin, but I guess
Pikmin 4.
Listen, Pikmin 4 is really good. It's really good.
When are we getting the review? Tim, ask him when we're getting the review. Quit looking at me. Ask Pete when we're getting a Pete review. Everybody talking about my reviews coming in 2024. When's the Pikmin review coming?
Yeah, that's a good question. But when, the greatest super, like, what is Spider-Man the greatest superhero game or series of games? I think the best one.
I think so. I think they set the bar a lot higher, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these games. Like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy actually had a very underrated superhero game. I think Guardians of the Galaxy was a very, very good game, and it was on Game Pass. And I remember even buying it I think I bought it for PlayStation for $30 when it was on sale for Black Friday. And I made sure that was like one of my game purchases that I made sure I bought, because I remember watching the Black Hokage play it for a long period of time. And I was like, yo, this game is actually very sick. But it didn't get the flowers it really deserved, because I feel like not a lot of people recognized it for what it was. And I think it had a lot of bugs where like sometimes the audio would double up, or I feel like sometimes like there was no audio at all. But like those bugs, maybe like maybe like 6 hours, whatever. I think the graphics look good. I think the combat looked fun. And that was very good. But I think Spider-Man just kind of sets the bar a lot higher. That's why you're seeing games like the Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights got a lot of hate though, because Gotham Knights wasn't on the same level as like a Spider-Man, or you're also getting the
I guess Dark Knight's a pretty good series. Like all the like
it's the
Arkham?
DC game that got pushed back. What is it called?
Not Arkham Asylum.
No, oh dude, it's gonna bug me. It was like a DC game and it got pushed back. But I forgot. It was like talked about for a decent amount of time. It was Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was the game that looked very good from trailers, and then they showed gameplay and they showed it was a looter shooter, and it was like, nah, this isn't what we want. And a game like that got pushed back because I feel like it kind of like goes hand in hand, where it's like Spider-Man's kind of the ceiling, and if you're not at that ceiling, then it's not looking too good for you.
I didn't know that Suicide Squad was going to be a looter shooter. That's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely got a lot of bad blood from that, because a lot of people were like, it had gun rarities and that like it had like legendary weapons.
People didn't like that?
No, because then it like leads into like, for one, I think the reason people didn't like that is like, when does everybody in Suicide Squad have a gun, for one? So do you really see people in Suicide? I see. If you're gonna be a big shark guy, like you just use your fist. Like I can understand Harley Quinn having a gun. I can't understand big shark guy having a gun.
Yeah, I like the polka dot dude.
And then plus that kind of adds into like people buying a battle pass too. So yeah, it got a lot of bad feedback.
Yikes.
But Spider-Man's gonna be dope. I think Spider-Man's gonna be great. Yeah. I think we'll probably have it's gonna be up there for game of the year. I think it will be.
Really?
Oh, I 100%. It's 100% gonna be in the game of the year discussion. 100%. Not a thought in my mind that it's not gonna be up for game of the year. Not a game of the year is gonna be tight this year, bro. Tight.
Tears of the Kingdom.
It's 5 games. So like it'd be Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom,
Baldur's Gate 3,
Baldur's Gate. It's Starfield. Hogwarts ain't gonna be in there, bro. I don't think Hogwarts. I think Hogwarts might have to make the cut. I think Hogwarts is gonna get caught, and then Redfall 5, and
Redfall 5.
Yeah,
they're gonna make 4 more this year. 2 months. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the most aggressive release schedule.
Because I think Street Fighter makes the cut for game of the year too.
Over Hogwarts, I guess.
I think so.
It's the bottom of the list, though. Come on, dog.
It's bad. But I think if there's 5 games, I think Street Fighter.
Is it only 5?
I think it's only 5. I'd have to check. Chat, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's only 5.
The game of the year discussion. Vote. We're looking it up.
Goat. GOTY.
6.
6 noms. Okay. So there you go. And Redfall. And then Hogwarts. Whatever.
Okay. Redfall's not going to be in it. Probably. Spider-Man 2. You don't think Hogwarts is going to be in the game of the year discussion?
Okay. All right. Here's the 6 right here, y'all. I want you to go back and quote this. It's going to be Spider-Man 2. It's going to be Baldur's Gate. It's going to be Starfield. It's going to be Tears of the Kingdom. It's going to be Street Fighter.
Hogwarts, bro. Hogwarts Legacy. You know what?
No.
Number 6, Dave the Diver. That's your top 6 right there.
If Dave the Diver makes game of the year, dude, I'll cry. I'll cry. We win.
It's gotta be best like independent.
It's Scorn.
Scorn 2 is not making it.
Are we just not gonna say Pokemon? Scarlet and Violet?
Nah.
Final Fantasy won't make it, unfortunately.
Armored Core is out.
Armored Core won't make
Pikmin
it.
4 maybe.
Pikmin's and unfortunately not gonna make it, which sucks. But
it's a dumb award show anyway.
yeah, I think Street Fighter makes it.
I think you got to put Hogwarts in there.
All right, fine.
You have to. What's going to be ahead of it, realistically?
It's a great question. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head. I wanted to say Resident Evil 4. I'm kidding. I didn't want to say
a remaster? Nice, dude. Heck yeah. Sick. Good job.
I just wanted to troll you.
Good job, studio. Way to go.
You know what? Just give it to Elden Ring 2 years in a row. That sounds like a great plan to me.
I wouldn't even be that upset, honestly.
I'm like, yeah, he deserved it.
That was 100% of my social feeds for like 4 months. It's just Elden Ring content. All right, get me out of here, dude. Get me out of here.
Thank you guys for watching episode number 53 of Gaming Gone Weird. I appreciate you guys here, man. Pete, go ahead and sign off. Go tell people what you're working on.
Yes, we are continuing our playthrough Baldur's Gate. Our Let's Play Ride of the Dwarf Bard continues tomorrow morning. We're going with a 6 a.m. stream tomorrow. We're starting early. None of these afternoon streams anymore.
Where can they find you?
Too sleepy. Ghost Stories, I forgot what my handle was. Ghost Stories Gaming, and not Ghost Stories on all things socials. So we're bringing on playthroughs, short form content, podcasts every week. That's what we're doing.
Nice, man. I appreciate you having you on, man. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Gaming Gone Weird. We do recommend that you guys, before you guys leave, man, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. If you guys want to watch more Gaming Gone Weird, if you guys want to catch episode number 54 and beyond, we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We talk about everything and all gaming and weird games that we just love to talk about and share with you guys, man. My name is Nicktana. I'm going to be finding my dear darling and New Atlantis in Starfield. So that's going to be kind of been my goal throughout the week. I'm going to be working on that. I'm also going to be working on playing Party Animals because I am a party animal myself, but that's going to be one of the games that I'm working on reviewing to get back in the swing of things, and a little bit of stuff on my personal channel where I review everything and all gaming, from indie games, AAA games, from just writing video essays about how I'm feeling about certain titles and stuff. So make sure you guys check that out at You Love Nicktana. If you guys want hot gaming hot gaming takes, make sure you guys check out You Love Nicktana on Twitter. All that good stuff, man. Other than that, be safe. Tell someone you love them. We'll catch you for another episode of Gaming Gone Weird next Wednesday. So thank you guys for being weird, and we're out. Later, Gators.